Hello, I want to talk to you a little bit today about these two tarot decks. We get asked quite a few questions about them, and people will often ask for them by name. And I think for people who have not worked with tarot much, it's important to know the differences and be able to make up your mind whether they're interchangeable, whether it matters whether you have one deck or the other, or whether you definitely want that deck. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. So the Tarot Original 1909 has been recently published by La Scarabeo. They are an Italian-based tarot company and have a prolific amount of tarot decks available. This deck here is produced by US Games under license from the estate of A.E. Waite. So the artist of both the decks, Pamela Coleman Smith, I think in the Tarot Original, her prominence within the deck is brought more to the fore. In the past, the Rider Waite deck, as it's been called, has, whilst the deck was conceived by Arthur Waite, all the artwork was Pamela Coleman Smith's creation. So really, it was a partnership, and perhaps this deck didn't emphasise that perhaps enough. However, that was how it was produced originally, so that is the format that the deck would have come in on first publication. This modern new publication, however, is very beautifully done, and we'll just take a little look inside to see just a couple of the differences, which are not really that many. So the Tarot Original, when you open the deck, the back of the cards have got a nice colourful back, which was the original back for when they were printed. Then we have the original Rider Waite deck. The back of these. Now, I think at some point this has gone into the more two-tone printing, just because it would have been cheaper to print them. I don't know how long or how many decks were originally printed like this, but at some point this is where it's gone to. So that's one of the first differences. So we're going to take the Fool card to do our comparison on. So the next the next thing that stands out to me is that the stock card that's been used. So this is very white, so very bleached paper, which probably over time that has changed with the deck. It wouldn't have been originally produced on such white paper, but techniques for making paper, bleaching paper, have changed over the years. The new deck, the Tarot Original 1909, with that in mind and wanting to make it look like it might have looked in 1909, have gone with this less bleached cardstock, which is more cream. So if you just compare the two suns there, you can kind of just see the slight difference in those. The other thing is that we can see is that the lines on each card are very similar. They're not different thicknesses. Everything's in there. Now, the way the cards have been shaded, the coloration on this Tarot 1909, the way it's been coloured, and just because of how printing would have been done at the time, I think has been given a more authentic look. Perhaps over years, this one has taken on slightly more modern twists in the printing. It still is similar, but as the additions have gone on from the original, coloration's changed a little bit. Something else that also stands out is the writing. Okay, so the writing on the new deck is just slightly bigger. Okay, and I think the colour of the yellows, so the new deck has got a more yellow look, whereas the original Rider Waite has got the more golden yellow kind of look to it. So, and then the final difference that I've found, and I'd say this is quite a big difference, is the little booklet that comes with it. Because the booklet with the original 1909 deck has been, the instructions have been written by Sasha Graham. Okay, Sasha Graham is a leading tarot authority and author from America. So this has been given a complete revamp to be a little bit more comprehensive and a little bit more modern. The Rider Waite, original Rider Waite instructions, the booklet itself is a bit thinner, and the instructions in that one are written by Arthur Edward Waite. So, in conclusion, what do we think? Well, I think both decks have their place. I own an original Rider Waite deck, but I'm also going to buy a tarot original 1909 because, well, you know, collecting tarot and all of that. I do really like this new deck. I like the way they've brought the old and the new together, given the booklets a fresh look, modern, more modern language use, so and a little bit more comprehensive. It's also a slightly cheaper deck than the original Rider Waite. However, that said, whichever one you choose is really, you know, as near, based on the original artwork. So either way, you're going to get a really good deck.